Hey up everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships, where I've taken a step up from HMS Leander at tier 6 and I've gone up to HMS Fiji up at tier 7. Very similar to HMS Leander, there's a couple of differences though. It's a bigger target, it's got less armour, it has one less torpedo tube on each side, but you get an extra gun in every turret. I reckon that's probably a good trade-off. So 12 6-inch guns and more of that wonderful, quirky British armour piercing stuff. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm pushing myself forward. There's a lot of enemy destroyers on the other team, and I want to be catching them. Destroyers have a tendency to run off on their own at the start of matches because, you know, they're quite fast, or considerably faster than other ships, and it's quite easy for them to get forward and find themselves stuck in positions without any support, and I'd like to be shooting them while they do that. So I'm getting myself forward. There's lots of islands around here. This flank is a bit more healthy from a British cruiser perspective than the other flank. And to make it even better, I've got a friendly destroyer. That's a US tier 6 destroyer, the Mahan, or Mahan, however you pronounce it. And, you know, he's nice and far forward. Hopefully he's going to be able to spot any enemy destroyers that pop up before they spot me, and I can get a couple of shots off before they start to panic. I'm just slowing down now, coming down behind this island. That's an enemy battleship over there, that's Bismarck. Really want to stay away from that. So let's get the island in between me and Bismarck. You can't see me at the moment, but there's always the possibility that someone's going to spot me. Mahan's plodding along. Okay, oops, someone spotted me. I can't see anything. The Mahan can't see anything. Oh, there we go again. Oh no, back in the sights again. I don't think Bismarck's seeing me. Bismarck's probably concentrating on some of our battleships. Oh, there we go. HMS Warspite, so it's a Brit on Brit. A bit of Brit on Brit action. Warspite is a battleship. It's got 15-inch guns, so gigantic. And if any of those hit me, I'm going to have a really bad time. So I need to start maneuvering like hell, get myself behind one of these big chunky islands. He's not even in range yet, so I can't shoot back. I can't do anything about this. I've just got to pray I don't get hit while I flail around madly. There's a destroyer. We want to be opening up on him. And ow, that was a shell from... oh, 2 shells, 3 shells from Warspite. That was a Citadel hit. That took off 15,000 health. About half of my health just gone. That's bad. Now, the ship that was spotting me is that Mahan over there. Enemy Mahan. He's on the other side of the island, so let's give him some torps to worry about. Put the hydroacoustic search on, so I'm going to be able to detect any enemy torpedoes coming in quite early. There's an island between me and the battleships now, so I can quite safely turn around, focus my attention on that Fubuki if I can get some shots into him. That's quite difficult because he's a small target, moving quite quick. There's another destroyer shooting at me, so I've got to speed up again. And the Mahan in front of me has just come out from around the island. The secondary batteries are engaging him. He's dodged those torpedoes. Now I've got to turn back in to make myself a smaller target for him, because he's going to be, yep, there are his torpedoes. I'm going to fire off some of mine just to make him move, just to make him do something. He's fired off 2 of his 3 torpedo launchers at me, but the other one is on his other side, so he can't get me yet. I can just start putting shells into him. He's just melting away. There we go, down he goes. A couple of seconds, 1 dead enemy destroyer. And to cap it all, he was popping his smoke screen, so now I can just hop into there, preserve my smoke screen for later, and I'm safe. No one can see me. I can just sit here and look for something to shoot at. No, the only thing that's actually in range and that I can see is Warspite, so let's get ourselves a little bit of payback. Start putting shells into Warspite. Now you can see with these shells the trajectory on the British cruiser armor piercing shells, so they're going up and they're plunging down, coming down through the deck and hitting the superstructure. Now Warspite's a good target for this. Oh, there's that Farragut that was shooting at me earlier. Warspite's a good target for this because it's got quite a chunky superstructure. British battleships tend to have these kind of like monolithic towers where they have the bridge and things. And if I can get shells into that, it's basically unarmored. Or bulletproof, not shell-proof. So if I can get some shells into that, it's going to hurt him. Anywhere else though, the deck, I'm not certain about the deck. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that much to it. And the top of the turrets, certainly, it just bounces off, or the shells just disintegrate to no effect. So I've lost sight of him. Don't have anything to shoot at. Torpedoes coming around the side of the island where the friendly Mahan is, so there's got to be an enemy destroyer around there. There's 2 enemy destroyers up here. I can see the greyed out icons on the map showing their last spotted positions. Warspite's popped back into view again. I've kind of got to look in 2 directions at once here. I want to see if any of those enemy destroyers come around the corner, and I want to actually contribute and start shooting again. So Warspite's sailing away. Oh, the smoke screen's dissipating. I've gotten spotted. Pop my own smoke. If you look on the map, one of the enemy destroyers has popped up, but I'm too focused shooting at good old Warspite to really notice. Yes, there we go. They just took out the friendly Mahan. I'm going to pop some torpedoes around there just to make them think twice. And now, well, I can't see them, so I kind of got to leave the smoke screen and go deal with them. The battleship's on the other side of an island. It's safe for me to pop out. Surprise, guys! We've got a Farragut and a Fubuki. They're both on fairly low health. I'm more worried about finishing off the Fubuki and making sure I get a kill in than I am about the Farragut right now. They're both putting some shots in, but it's not too worrying. Enemy torps, that's the Fubuki's torps because they're triple. Fubuki's got triple launchers, the Farragut has quad launchers, so they're triple launchers. That was the Fubuki, he's gone down. The Farragut's popped his smoke screen, there are his torpedoes. He's lurking in there somewhere. He's only fired off 1 set, so I don't know whether he's got another set. Just checking the battleships, there he is, we're close enough to see him. He's almost stationary, I can just destroy him. There we go, put a torpedo out while I'm waiting for the guns to reload. They're not traversing quite fast enough, but it doesn't matter, the secondary battery's got him. The secondary batteries are AI-controlled turrets with smaller caliber guns on the side of the ship. I say smaller caliber, I think, what are these? I think they're still like, they're like 6-pounder, 102mm quick firing naval guns, something like that. This is one of the fun things about World of Warships compared to something like Combat Mission. HMS Fiji has got about 2 batteries worth of heavy-ish artillery, and you know, if I was in a Combat Mission game and I had 12 155mm guns to play with, I'd be extremely happy. And these are small, light caliber cruiser guns. Everyone was quite upset when it turned out all the British cruisers were going to have 6-inch guns, but you know, it's all about the scale. Now Warspite's popped back in. He's concentrating on stuff down there. I have a Warspite, and I know that the turret rotation speed on it is atrocious because the turrets weigh something stupid like 100, 200 tons each. Obviously it takes a long time to move something like that around. So I'm not watching where the turrets are facing, I'm more worried about the angle the ship's at, because oh, there you can see 2 of the shells hit the top of the turret and they just disintegrated and did nothing. So turret's very heavily armoured. The island, that's even more heavily armoured. I just managed to hit the island there. He's too far out for torps. The torpedoes only go for 8 kilometers. So I'm just going to sidle in, you know, stand by to run away. My smoke screen's got about 45 seconds left. Warspite's going to see me as soon as I come around that corner. What I'm looking for is to see if he turns the ship, because in Warspite usually it's much easier to get your guns on target by turning the ship instead of turning the turrets. So I think he's got bigger problems though. No, he's turning. There we go, that's a good solid hit. 5 penetrations, 4 non-penetrations and 3 ricochets. Yeah, now he's looking my way. It's time to run away. So I'm going to head off in the opposite direction as fast as I can, start fishtailing, try and keep a low profile, make myself a small target, still copped a shell. It could have killed me if I hit the citadel, but it didn't. Smoke screen is back up and waiting, so I need to slow down. If you go too fast, you just run straight out the smoke screen and you die. So slow down, turn a little bit. Warspite's facing the other way now, he's not an issue anymore. Pop the smoke screen. The other reason to turn was to make sure that I had a good angle for all the guns, because there's nothing more aggravating than having to do a series of 3-point turns inside a tiny little smoke screen just to get all the turrets to bear on the target. Now I'm going to carry on chipping away at Warspite here, but the game's essentially over. I've done my part. I think I've come up here, bumped into 3 enemy destroyers and managed to finish them all off. The rest of the team went, it looks they kind of went down the middle and down the far right, and the enemy team's kind of melted away. They've only got 3 ships left. None of them are in a position to stop us from capturing the point. We're going to win this. And you can see I'm just chipping away at Warspite. This is the thing with British cruisers versus battleships. You either need to close in and get the torpedoes into them if you really want to do the damage, or lurk undetected in the smoke screen and just chip away. I'm not doing a tremendous amount of damage, but it is, it's building up. And oh, that other friendly salvo knocked him down, and I just managed to knock off the last bit of health and claim the kill. So sorry to whoever that was. But it's kind of picks up on one of the things I'm finding about the Brit cruisers, which is that you kind of go through the match concentrating on what you're doing, and then you get to the end and realise that somehow you're at the top of the leaderboard. I got 4 kills in that. It never felt like I was doing anything spectacular or dynamic. If I'd done this in another ship, I'd come away feeling, really pleased with myself. But here it's just like, well, job done. So in a sense, that kind of understated workman-like feeling they've got to them really does fit in with the Royal Navy, because the Royal Navy's kind of like that. They win the war, but you never really see them doing it. They never do it in a single blow. And I think that's something that some of the other World of Warships players haven't really picked up on. So that's about it from the high seas for now, guys. Hope you have a good day. I'll catch you all in the next video.